Hey guys, Doc here to tell you about something that could really give you the edge in gaming. I'm talking about our show sponsor, Fade Grips. Thumbstick grips as well as controller grips that give comfort, precision, and control so you can take your gaming to the next level. Just go to fadegrips.store and check out all they have to offer. And with our promo code, CAG20, at checkout, you can get 20% off your entire order. That's fadegrips.store with offer code CAG20.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 37 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host Risky the Kid, and joining me this week is my co-host Doc H1X1.
Hey.
And in our rotating fourth and slash third chair, Kaboski.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Welcome back to the show, Kabo. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful.
Phenomenal.
Nice.
If you couldn't tell, Chocolate Bear is out scheduling conflicts per usual. Probably a screaming child somewhere in there. But anyways, I have to do his little part right now because he didn't want to send it in. He didn't want to send in a clip, and he probably wants me to use some weird wrestling voice. But I am here to talk about our third installment of Pod Wars against the Real Gamerscore podcast. We're tied up 1-1. And our next match, which is going to be Gears of War 4, takes place on Friday, February 1st. So tune in. We'll be at mixer.com/CAG podcast. I think, right? Or
Actually, Cross Atlantic Gaming
/ Cross Atlantic Gaming.
And then once Risky changes his Xbox Live name.
That's what it was. I was like, did it change recently? It did change recently.
Yeah, it did.
Mixer.com/Cross Atlantic Gaming. That's just a lot more typing for all the fans. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, brand uniformity is just it's a mess when it gets to be a thing. It's just
apparently
it's not fun to deal with. Also, real quick, Gears of War, the next game we're playing in the Pod Wars, that doesn't have a protective beam bubble in it, does it?
Oh boy, I hope not. The cheater beam.
Just wanted, I mean, your words, but
the cheese beam.
The cheese.
You can call it whatever you want.
That sounds awesome.
The cheese beam?
Yeah.
I think that's just like spray cheese, right? Just beam it into your mouth.
Yeah.
I guess
What were you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not sure anymore.
Cheese beams.
Cheese beams.
Cheese beams.
Anyways, another week in gaming. What have we all been playing? Kabo, guests first. We're going to start with you, and we're going to be talking about The Division.
The Division.
What are you doing in The Division right now?
I'm actually going to be losing it because it's on Game Pass, and that's going away in a couple of days. But I wanted to, back a month or so ago, I wanted to try it out on Game Pass. Wanted to see how the sequel was, and I got hooked when playing it. So I definitely pre-ordered. So throughout the time, I tried going through the story, leveling up my guy, and on Friday, me, Moose, Ladonian, and Aeroben got me up to level 30. And I don't know what the leveling system is afterwards. I forget what it is.
The gear tier?
Yeah, the gear tier.
The super convoluted leveling system that the Division has.
Can we talk about that real quick? Because if people think Destiny is convoluted with light level, that looks like algebra to this calculus level leveling system. It is. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I recently just got back into it, and I was playing with Dan Pod a little bit, and he sent me something today. There was I don't know what had to have accumulated to 4 paragraphs of just numbers and I spec'd this, and this for this and that and this. And I was just like, man, I hope you have this type of enthusiasm in 2 months because I'm going to need that in 2 months. I don't need it right now.
Is he referencing to because I know Elder Scrolls does this for their games. They have gear sets. The more the set you put on together, the better bonuses you get out of it.
That's exactly what is in there. It's
okay.
I need 3 pieces of the striker armor, and
my critical hit chance will be up by 5%.
Dude, it's the most.
Love critical hit percentages.
Oh my god, that's exactly what it is, though.
Talk dirty to me, Cabo.
Oh well, you see here.
I've got some screenshots of some stuff, Doc.
Oh, okay, all right.
You'll like it. Lots of numbers.
Yeah,
NSFW.
So that's where they grind out the gear for specific sets, and doing that set, you get obviously some bonus buffs here and there, and throughout, I don't know, like rate of fire, that's probably one that doesn't even count. It's just, I know that's one of the things in the game, and I'm assuming that's what Dan said, so.
Yeah, I mean, the rate of fire, the damage, like the damage drop off, how much each little thing affects, like headshot percentage, crit percentage. There's 8,000 percentages in this game, and every piece of armor will change that in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to roll like the perfect piece of armor with the perfect stats, and it's definitely a numbers game.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that they're not changing in the second game. That's going to be the same. I'm sure of it, probably.
That's what
go ahead.
I was going to say, the first thing I'll be doing is just looking up the best like loadouts for. I feel like that's all I spent doing in the Division 1 is like best loadout. And I'd have to look like each week because it would change.
Get out the wiki. All right, here we go.
Every few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like Dan's going to be Sherpa-ing us in the Dark Zone.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
We're going to be like the kids, and he's going to be like Sandra Bullock in Bird Box. He's going to be like, you stay here. You do not move until I tell you to move. When I tell you to move, you go there. Like, yes, Dan Pod.
I love it. We're just going to make him stream one night with a blindfold on and see how well he does.
Probably still
Good
fairly
luck,
well.
Dan. Still killing.
Still killing,
better
yeah.
than all of us. All right.
Yep.
Jeez.
Are you working on your shields at all, Kabo?
I was, but like I said, it's going off Game Pass, and I'm not going to pick it up.
Oh, right. You kind of, and like you're at the point where it doesn't make sense to buy it because Division 2 is so close.
Yeah, like Friday, I just hit level 30 on there, so I got all, and they like spoon fed me all their like high up like gear. So I went from like level 30 to whatever the abbreviation is for it, like 240 or 250.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty high. I think the max right now it's like a soft cap of 290. So getting that high when you just hit level 30 that's fast. That's like hundreds of hours worth of work for the people that got there originally, and you just hopped in and people were like, here, just take some armor and you're good.
We don't use it anymore, so here you go. Because we were doing like missions in like world tier 5. I think that's the highest. I don't know exactly. And for me, I was just trying to survive as much as I can. For them, they're the ones doing all the work. And then once I got to level 30, they already were getting like the sweet drops from like 280 and around there kind of thing. So they're just like, here, we don't need it. We have our gear sets. So here you go.
Yep. People listen to this podcast, it's like shaking their head in disgust. It's like I was there in the great soft cap winter of 240. Like he doesn't even understand. He doesn't know what we had to work for.
Like how many hours have I put in just for this?
Camel's like, I got an epic yellow. Is this good, guys? Is this good?
I just dismantled it.
Is that bad?
I needed the parts. Oh god, yeah, like, so it just sucks that I got all the way to the kind of like the end game, and for me pre-ordering the second one, and that not even being 2 months away, I was like, maybe I'll just hold off. And I asked them about it earlier today because I was kind of like hitting like that rock and a hard place of whether or not to just buy it just so I can continue playing. But then like I said, in 2 months, I'm not gonna touch it.
And you're picking up Anthem, right?
Yes.
So really, it's just like you have a month, and then Anthem should do a fine job of holding you over for a month until Division 2.
Yeah, that loading screen simulator.
Oh boy, we'll get to that in a little bit here. Division's good stuff though. I've started working on my shields. That's why I started playing again recently, was because the shields or whatever that you work towards. Those are the only things that actually carry over to 2, and it's all just cosmetic stuff. It looked like so. It's kind of whatever. Not in any hurry or rush to get that done. And I feel like I've got 8,000 other things to do. So we'll see if that ever gets done.
True.
Can't wait to get back into these games that have like stat sheets, soft caps, all this stuff that I missed that have been gone from Destiny 2 for a while.
Looks like there's a couple good ones coming for you.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm excited that there's going to be raids in the second one.
8-man raids nonetheless.
Oh my god.
Have they divulged much more information about that, or are they still kind of keeping that under wraps? Okay, that's what I thought.
They just said that they have it. It's not going to be there day one, and that's all I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I think someone asked if it was going to be more than just like find the boss, kill him, like if there's going to be puzzle mechanics and stuff, and they said yes. So it's not just going to be a straight up just go down this corridor, get to the next boss, and then spend like an hour chipping him down until you kill him. It sounds like there might actually be other things to do, or like puzzle parts, I guess. So
I'm kind of curious with the puzzle parts how they're gonna be, because if you consider like Destiny 2 raids with their puzzle mechanics, the movements are completely different.
Yeah,
I just feel like you're gonna
that.
be really sluggish.
like you're not going to be doing jumping puzzles in the Division
Yeah.
since you can't jump.
Exactly. God,
It's raiding
gravity.
really quickly. I
But
don't
that's
have
where-
a triple jump.
I wonder if it's going to be something where there's going to be like, it'll be 4 servers you have to be guarding or not letting get touched or something. So you'll actually have to
Yeah.
break up into teams to guard different things. I'm assuming it'll just be things that'll kind of send people in different areas or have them doing different things more than just everyone sitting down and shooting at one thing.
Yeah.
So,
Shooting puzzles. All right.
right. And I wonder if we'll
Perfect.
get more information about that before it actually comes out, or if it'll be like the Destiny raids where you literally don't know what you're getting yourself into until they unlock it that day, and then you're like, all right, it's go time to figure stuff out. Will be interesting either way.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, next up, Doc. Oh, are you getting ready for Metro Exodus next
Yeah.
month? Playing
Yeah,
some Metro 2033. How's that
going
going?
back and playing the first Metro game. I don't know if I think I told this before on the podcast. The titles aren't very, in my opinion, descriptive of what order they come in. So back in the day when I first bought this, I think I bought it as a bundle. I accidentally played the second game first and then the first one.
What are their
Because
names?
one's Metro 2033 and one is Metro Redux.
No.
Oh, okay. See,
It's,
I always thought
Last Light
Redux
you're
was
talking
the
about.
Last Light. Sorry, not Light. I'm talking about the package. Last Light. There you
Oh,
go. Last
okay,
Light.
right.
Which I guess Last Light,
Hashtag user error, Doc. This is your fault.
Yeah, exactly. So
One is called Last Light.
it's true.
Even though there's
But-
another game coming
But there's
after
another
it.
game coming, yes.
Oh, so now when you go back to play the 3 of them in like 5 years, now I'll understand if you're kind of confused.
Retconning, I was right all along, but for the longest time I wasn't. So
Because in my head, it's probably Exodus 2033 and then Last Light, right?
I guess.
That's how it should be.
well, this one's definitely coming after those games, but
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
yeah, because the new game you're like on a train and you're like out because the first 2 games was all about being underground in this claustrophobic subway and all this stuff, and the new game coming out, you're on this train and you're actually getting out to these open world parts of Russia, basically.
Snowpiercer?
Yeah, kinda, sorta. I mean, there's a train involved. That might be where it ends. but
That's post-apocalypse.
I'll give you.
trains,
You know what?
all
Whatever.
right.
We're being generous. Yeah,
Come
Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer, Russia. There you go.
Snowpiercer the game. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I went back and playing this, and those are just they're really, really good single-player, first-person, linear type games. They really are. Good
Oh yeah.
storytelling. It's a great, great world they kind of I guess create and kind of evoke with the different characters, stuff you read. Like I haven't actually. This is one of the few games where I've not really liked and actually bothered to read the novels associated with it. But like, it's got some. It's based off novels, and I don't know. Maybe I'm finding out more and more the more I play all these different games that like whether it's Halo, The Witcher, Metro. If a novel series is a really good science fiction novel series, maybe you should just automatically make a video game out of those because they usually turn out good. So,
Yeah, right.
but yeah, I'm just going back through playing these games, and yeah, they still hold up to this day. I mean, they technically got a upscale. I don't know. It's not a remaster.
The
but-
Redux, yeah, I think it probably just got up-resed, right?
yeah, just
Yep.
upresed, yeah, which still holds up. I mean, it's not the best looking game ever, but it still is pretty good. But yeah, I would highly recommend that to anybody. I think one of them is in Game Pass. I want to say I don't know which one.
I don't know why I feel like it's the Last Light.
It might be actually. It might
Oh,
be,
perfect.
which is even weirder. Yeah, like only the second one is in Game Pass, but.
It says in the description, if you're an idiot like Doc.
Yeah, play this one first, and then you're like, oh, going into the first one, I totally know what the ending's gonna be. But
Did you know right away? Like, I forget. It's been a while since I played both these games. But did you know right away when you play Last Light that you're like, this isn't the first one?
no, so I
Oh,
would
boy.
argue that I didn't know till probably. There's definitely a cutscene that happens maybe a quarter of the way through where it's like, oh, they're talking about something I did previously that I clearly didn't do in this game. So yeah.
Good work, Doc.
So, but it wasn't at the very beginning because the very beginning of the second game it shows you as a kid discovering something. So like it even gets a little bit more confusing in that sense, but anyways, yeah, it definitely put a different spin on the first game to where it did kind of ruin the effect of like there's this unknown entity and you think that they're really evil, and maybe my experience in the second game was like, oh well, I know that's probably not true. But anyways, yeah, so that kind of, I don't want to say ruined, but definitely gave me a different impression when I went through the first one. But anyways, I'm replaying these games. They're really, really good. I think the reason, why did I replay? Oh, yeah, because the rewards, Xbox rewards had extra reward points if you got achievements in the game. So I just was like, it's as good a reason as any to go back and play it. So
Yeah, I never, Shine bought them not that long ago, and I never touched them on the Xbox. I beat them on PC back then.
Yeah.
So they're quick first person shooters.
Yeah, it's it is totally a first person shooter linear science fiction story, but it's really good. They did a great job of it, and yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what Metro Exodus is. It definitely is going pretty far away from what the first two games were, but I'm excited to see what that studio can do, because I clearly think with the first two games they made, they know what they're doing. So yeah,
I was gonna say, do we know like is Exodus coming like 50 years after Last Light, or?
I would assume not that long
Not that
after
long
Last
after?
Light, because
Okay.
you are still the same guy, Artyom, and you have the same basically, I guess she's your girlfriend at that point, but like it's a similar group of characters around you though that was
Gotcha.
in Last Light. So I would assume not that long after that one.
Are these short games? Because I've had a hard copy of Redux for years now, and I don't think I've ever opened it.
It took me 2 days to beat it.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
If you're hardlining it, I don't know, probably what, 15-hour-ish game maybe?
That's not bad.
Maybe longer, maybe 20, I don't know, but it depends on how much you want to like look around for secrets and stuff like that.
0.
But, okay, well, probably 15.
Just give me that story and get me out of there.
Yeah. But it's really good storytelling. It's all about moving through the subways, and again, not to prolong or talk about too much, but it's like you've got these different, post-apocalyptic, when the bombs fell, but you were in the Russian subways, and basically these communities sprung up in the Russian subways in the post-apocalyptic world. So that's what it's based off of. And you have like your Russian Red, you have the Reds, you have the Nazi groups, you have all these different like political groups that like are at war with each other, and it's pretty cool stuff. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, maybe I'll get to it someday.
The one
Also,
thing that-
mutant
oh,
creatures too, by the way.
Yeah. The one thing that's
Forgot
like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. I was about to say I forgot. I left that out, but yeah, there's totally that stuff in there.
The one thing that was always like like a struggle at times, like it's definitely like it's kind of like a survival type of game. Your currency is your bullets.
Yes, yeah, and actually looking back and playing it now, it was a really cool thing that I wish more games would do interesting stuff like that. Honestly, because literally the bullets you use, which you need to survive throughout the game against these horrific mutant creatures or other enemy factions, like that is what you buy stuff with, literally.
So you got to make some decisions.
Yeah. With all that said, though, unless you're playing on like the hardest difficulty, you're probably never going to be hurting for. I've never found myself in either games really hurting for just about anything that I needed, really. So, but I don't know. Maybe that's for the hardcore players out there.
All right, sounds good. Moving on. I got my copy of Ace Combat 7 and my
Hell yeah.
thrustmaster.
Risky. We talked about. We're not gonna.
Oh, I can't talk about my
Yeah.
thrustmaster
Yeah.
on the podcast anymore.
No, not when you say it like that. We can't.
Fair enough. I mean, you talked about this game. Was it last week? I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you beat it yet, or how far are you?
Chapter 5, I think. I didn't get.
Okay, so you're still pretty early. Okay.
Yeah, I played it a couple hours, a couple days, and I'm using my flight stick. And I know you were talking shit about people who are using.
I was not
using
talking
flight
shit.
sticks. You're like, oh yeah, you definitely don't need a waste of
That
money. You're a loser.
Hyperbole.
But I gotta say, using this flight stick is a hell of a lot of fun.
See now, here's I got to judge how close you are to really going down the rabbit hole. Have you looked up replica pilot like helmets with masks yet?
We don't have to talk about it.
Okay.
See, I'm taking that silence.
So that
as
I'm
a
taking
yes.
I'm taking that as it's on the way on Amazon. Yeah.
It. I probably would have bought the foot pedals if Mellify didn't tell me that they're way too close together. He was like, unless you're like a tiny lady, there's no way that these are far enough apart to be comfortable. So
Just big toe it.
yeah, just gonna use my pinky toe for one side and my big toe for the other.
That'd be
Nice.
so comfortable.
Nice.
But that game's a lot of fun. Definitely just arcadey, fun combat. The story you covered last week is definitely kind of weird.
How about that cockpit chatter, huh?
Oh, it's great. You and,
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I just got to a weird part where I think I'm might be a bad guy or something weird.
Oh yeah, Risky. Why did you intentionally shoot down the president? Why would you do that?
Yeah. Spoilers, but
Clearly intentional, by the way.
so now I gotta figure out what's going on here.
Well, it's okay.
I'm
we've
also-
got a prisoner rehabilitation program for you where we will put you back in the same jet you were in, and you still get to shoot and kill people. So it's okay.
That's the thing. They were like, yeah, all right, we'll just go fly around these jets and just like lock on to people, but you can't fire any weapons. So just scare them with your skills. And you're like,
But turns out you
Duh.
actually took off with a complete payload the entire time. Also,
well, yeah, because midway through that mission, they're just like, hey, we turned on your missiles. Can you go take care of these guys now? Because they're invading. It's like, what? What is happening?
this game's so good.
Either way, definitely enjoying it. I tried playing in like the third person, but I can't do it with my flight stick. I think the flight stick's making it so I have to play it in cockpit mode. So
Oh yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah.
it feels weird controlling a little plane that I can see with a thrustmaster. So a lot of fun though, and for I think the flight stick was like $50. It's really not a bad deal for the game. Plus that for like $100, and it's a
I mean,
lot of
but
fun.
to be fair, that is a really good deal on the flight stick though. I mean, I thought long and hard about getting it too. So
You could also use it for Elite Dangerous.
that's actually was almost the reason I almost thought I might get it, because that would have gotten me back into that, because I really liked Elite Dangerous too. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe eventually, if it goes back on sale again, I might pull the trigger.
All right, well, I'll make sure to let you know, or Wario64 will, one or the other.
He'll definitely let me know.
All right, Kabo, you playing some Destiny 2?
Yes.
How's that going?
I'm still hooked on that game. I don't know why it took me this long to finally like play Destiny and actually like play it with the grind and the end game stuff.
Are you raiding yet?
No.
Oh, so you're playing Kid Destiny? Okay, I just
Oh,
wanted to
baby
clarify.
Destiny?
Cool.
Yeah, I just take long walks around Dreaming City and just pick up flowers, and
This sounds accurate.
this is pretty accurate.
It's like that's not actually too far from what's happening.
Yeah, this is actually spot on Destiny. Well, most of the time I play on my PlayStation account, and no one from the community or just anyone I know plays it on the PlayStation. I mean, you get like those people that always be like, "Yo, hit me up, we'll chill," and they never talk to you ever again, kind of people.
Maldo.
Maldo's screaming at the phone right now, or whatever he's playing his podcast on.
Oh, yeah, because he actually moved more towards Xbox. I think the one day I was on the Xbox and he never sent me like an invite or anything like that. I was like, okay.
You're in like 15 Xbox communities. Why would you get it on PlayStation, Cabo? This is no one's fault but your own.
And it's even better because Shine bought it day one.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, okay, so I got it when Best Buy had it for like $8 or something like that, like the physical disc, and with Gamers Club on the lock, I was like, sure, why not? I'll play it on the PlayStation. And then here we are. I bought like all the expansions and
Didn't it
Did
also
you
go
get-
Games to, or PS Plus?
Yeah.
Wasn't it free
Yeah,
at some
it
point?
did. Yeah, I got it before. I got the discs before it. Though.
Ugh, that sucks.
Now, were you unlucky enough to get like the expansion before they bundled that all real cheap and stuff?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Maybe.
No
you know
comment.
how soon it was? It was probably like a week or two before.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Nothing hurts worse than that.
Salt in the wound. Mm.
Yeah.
It's like everybody that bought Hitman or Assassin's Creed Odyssey or a number of games that came out 2 weeks before Black Friday, and then they're all half off.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It pays
Yeah.
the weight.
Fallout
It does.
76. Yeah. The list goes on.
That
Yeah,
game
it's a-
should just be free at some point, right?
Whoa! Shots fired.
Shoot, son. But going back, I really enjoy it still. I do like playing a lot of it. I do like the weekly stuff to get the exotic gear and I do like the strikes, the Gambit playlist. I don't really do Crucible because I suck. It's weird. Like if I were to play any other first-person shooters, I have no problem holding my own with like a positive kill death ratio or something like that. Destiny for some reason is the complete opposite.
There's just so many different factors in it. Like
yeah,
there's a lot of meta going on with it too, as far as like what your loadout
right
should be, and
the god rolls are very important.
Exactly.
Also that.
And then like I just run around a corner just for one guy to use his super on me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, nothing makes you feel quite as inadequate as like, all right, let's do this. Oh, insta kill by a super, great.
Exactly. He's like, oh, he did this, and I'm already like dead. That's fun.
Cool.
I remember when I was playing that game at some point, I want to say the modes were called chaotic modes, so it was like Chaos Rumble or something like that. But your super cooldown was like 15 seconds or something ridiculous.
God, that was nuts though.
So it's
That'd
just
be fun.
hunters with golden guns just running around one-shotting every 15 seconds.
Chaos.
Yeah, it literally, that's well said. Chaos.
That is terrible. I hate it already now if I had to do a Crucible and I just get like golden gun from a mile away. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Awesome.
I just spawned.
And that
Thanks.
golden gun used to be so forgiving when I used to play. I'd be like, I'm pretty sure that was like 3 feet away from that guy, but he's dead. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, they took aim assist to a new level with the golden gun. It's like, here's a general hitbox that's half the screen, just somewhere in there. You got it.
Just shoot it, you'll hit.
Yeah, just somewhere.
But it's not just one bullet. We're going to give you like 3 or 4. Good luck, everybody. Yikes.
Pretty much.
Good deal. So I'm only going to talk about Blackout for a second. Of course, it wouldn't be a Cross-Atlantic Gaming podcast if I didn't talk about Blackout for at least a little bit. But they released a new game mode. It's called Down But Not Out, and I figured it was worth talking about. This is a battle royale game where if one of your teammates makes it into the next circle, your whole team respawns on you. So,
So that's kind of a cool premise.
If they're dead?
If they were dead, yeah. If they got like thirsted and they were out. So as long as one person survives and gets into the next circle, you redeploy like out of the plane. So you get sent over the plane again, looking over the field, and you can drop down to like your teammates. You drop with like a pistol and some bandages. So it's kind of, you end up running into people like mid to late game that aren't looted at all. So like that's nice because it's not impossible. Like if you get towards the final circle and you haven't lost anyone yet, you're just going to be running into a lot of people with like pistols.
So you can just like steamroll at that point, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could rack up a lot of kills in this mode.
That's the other thing. The amount of kills and like your damage numbers are so high in this game mode. Just makes you feel like you're way better at the game than you actually are.
Padding the stats.
Right. But what this has done is made it so like when we're playing now, this is only a mode that you can play in quads. So you can't play in duos, or like if you have 3, you have to have 4 people. What this does though is it makes everybody pick up like 2 assault rifles of like different ammo. So you're gonna get like all 7.62 and all 5.56. So when that person drops in, if they die, you can just hand them over like a kitted rifle with all the ammunition instead of carrying like sniper rifle, SMG, or like just whatever. It's pretty much just 2 assault rifles at this point. So that happens for 5 circles, which are pretty big circles. And then at the end, it just turns into one last circle that just shrinks. And it's probably like half the map. Like it's a huge final circle. And then the thing just never stops moving. So everybody's rushing in. And at that point in the game, when you're used to having maybe like 10 up or like 15 up, but there's like 60 people left still, and you're just sprinting in towards the center of the circle, but so is everyone else around you. It's the most chaotic, fast-paced battle royale thing that I've ever played. And it's a ton of fun. And if you play Blackout and you just die a lot, like fast and early, this is a sweet game mode because you're not penalized as big for dying. Like, sure, you land in with pretty much nothing capable of killing another person, but you still have a chance to loot as you're running into the circle, into like the next circle. A lot of fun, and people should definitely try it out.
It definitely sounds like they solved the problem of like hey, I'm on here with 3 of my friends, and one guy died early. Wow, sucks for him that he's just got to wait till we finish out this game kind of thing.
Yeah, it cuts out people
Like,
having to wait for literally like 20 minutes sometimes. Like if you get top 3, it's probably like a 20 to 25 minute game. So it definitely remedied that a little bit. And I don't know, it's just fun. Even if you don't die like super early, it's still just the pace of it. Like Blackout was probably the fastest battle royale in my opinion. Anyways, and this just like kicks it up to 11, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
All right, Paladins, Kaboski. What are you playing Paladins on nowadays?
The Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. We had a couple game nights playing it. I know you played one night with me, you and Moose. Was it Moose?
Yeah, I think it was Moose.
Tony? Yeah.
And Waterloo actually hopped in there for a minute.
Waterloo joined us. Yeah, we were actually doing pretty good.
That game's a lot of fun. But even though what kind of sucks is that like the cross-buy, cross-save stuff isn't enabled yet, so
yeah.
I had like 4 or like 8 characters to pick from or whatever it is. And Grover wasn't one of them, so obviously I was upset. But then Moose mentioned something a few days ago. He was like, hey, you probably have enough gold saved up that you can just buy him like with the in-game currency. And I did buy like 10,000 gold coins. So I have Grover now, so I'm willing to play Paladins on the Switch whenever.
Now we're going to win.
The game's so good, except for I'm really bad using the Joy-Cons. I had to get my Pro Controller out. I couldn't aim at anything.
That Pro Controller is like all I had to play with on that game. Yep. I've tried it a few times, and it's just god-awful with that Joy-Con. But, shoot, what day was it? Friday, I think it was? Yeah, Friday. It was Moose again, and Ladonian played Paladins with us on the Switch. I know.
He doesn't do that.
It gets better.
I don't believe it.
It gets better.
I'm listening.
He enjoyed it. He had fun.
Mark it down, 31 minutes, 15 seconds. Ladonian had fun playing Paladins. This is news to me.
Yeah, we were talking about it after. He goes like, yeah, I had a good time playing it. It was just...
Game's still trash, though.
I thought it was really weird when he said Overwatch was just dumb shit, basically. You know, I thought that was a little weird when he said that. But
yeah, shortly after that, he was like, I never heard of Oversnatch.
Yeah. That was totally out of character, but you know.
Exactly.
Whatever.
I thought it was really uncalled for because Overwatch is still a good game.
Yeah, I still have respect for it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe he's hating on it that much. That's crazy.
Oh my God, he's
hater.
But I was like, I definitely can't wait to bring that up that he's starting to like Paladins. I mean, it's not going to be his favorite game, but
no, he said Overwatch is trash, so
that's true.
I think it is his new favorite game, actually.
Yeah, pretty sure he installed it. So.
He's Paladins Pro.
It's gonna change his name in Discord to Paladins Pro.
Paladins Pro 420.
And put that little
XXX.
I'll put that little Paladins gif at the end of his, or what is it? Emoji at the end of his name.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Diamond thing.
Yep.
Sweet. We converted another person.
We did it.
Showing him the light.
Yeah.
Paladins.
Paladins is fun. I saw that I got a code from Xbox for. There must be a new character. There's actually definitely a new character because when I was playing it last, there was a giant dragon flying around in the sky.
Yep, that was the one.
So I think I got a code for that in my Xbox. So definitely want to play with that one because I was like, what is that thing and how do you kill it? It's just flying around up there shooting fireballs.
Sucks. It's I forget her name. It's her ultimate ability, and she just turns into basically Ash Ketchum and Charizard.
She just summons Charizard and he just rains hellfire down from the sky.
Dude, I'm all about this game now.
We'll get you back in there somehow.
Hell yeah.
Great. All right. Well,
should we talk about it?
This brings us to the game of the weekend. For 2/3 of us, Anthem had their what the hell did they call this thing? A VIP demo.
Yep.
Which should have just been called the closed beta because there was some issues, and I think we should get the negatives out of the way first. Because once you get past that, there's something here, something special. But a lot of people, at least on Friday, and I mean through the weekend, but Friday was the worst. People were getting stuck at the home screens just forever. Mm-hmm. Literally, did you get in on Friday at all?
Later in the night, I think maybe towards like 9 o'clock Eastern was when like it started like letting people in.
It's crazy because I feel like I tried every like half hour for like 3 or 4 hours. Like I was just playing Blackout. We'd finish a few matches and then it'd be like, all right, let's check Anthem quick. And just every time it'd be just go to the Anthem title screen. And now I'm just going to have nightmares just whenever that thing pops up. Like it was awesome the first time it popped up, and like that music and how like that whole title screen, it is beautiful. Everything about it is awesome. When you watch it for 2/3 of the time that you're supposed to be playing Anthem, it's not that great anymore.
Yeah.
That home screen, that main menu is just like burned in my brain of like, please work, please work. It could be 3 years down the road. Please work, please work.
Yeah, I think it got really
fingers
funny
crossed.
when you started watching all the streamers being like, no. See, when the little triangle starts going, you might actually load, because then it's got to a next level of like entering the server. Like if you don't see the triangle like doing a spinny thing, then you're not getting in. You just might as well restart. Like there was all these streamers just like constantly on Friday being like, no, yeah, you just hard reset. You're not getting in if you haven't seen it yet. Like just all these like little bitty like theories about like how you knew if you were gonna get loaded or not. Like, I don't know.
Yep. I tried to watch, I think Destin Legary from IGN was streaming, and he like got in it for a little bit, and then it just did that thing where it like locked up at like
I
a
saw a
loading
lot
screen.
of that.
And then I was like, well, guys, I think I'm done. It's like, good choice.
Saw a lot of screaming. Like I know one group was on a boss fight and they almost killed the boss, and the last guy was alive and he was going to go res somebody, and his screen was just like hard locked on like a sound and music. He goes, no! He just started yelling like.
And that's
like, well, shit.
Yeah, that's what because one of the biggest issues was the infinite loading screen, which even once you finally made it into the game, past the loading screen, you're like, woohoo, I can play games. And then you get in there, try to load into like a different section, and you literally have to stop the game, quit out of it completely, load back into the game, click A to continue your expedition, and then you could keep playing with your friends. So that's like what I spent the whole weekend doing. So they definitely have some shit to work out. Luckily, they still have a month. So hopefully, I mean, even if they can improve it a little bit, because you're about to have their open beta is this upcoming weekend for literally anybody that wants to play it. And like, if you're showing this off to the whole world and people can't get in, like at all, it doesn't look great for you. So
no,
I wonder if like, do you think they should? I mean, it's coming out in a month no matter what. It's went gold apparently, but like, I don't feel like they're gonna have any better luck with the servers if more people are pinging against it next weekend. So do you think they should postpone that a weekend, or like?
Well, the thing, they put out a statement like midday Saturday that was like, we did prepare, like the server capacity isn't the issue. It was something going on. I don't know tech speak at all, but it sounded like they thought that they had the capacity for the servers, but something wasn't functioning right within that, I guess. So It's like they had the number right, or how much it should have supported. It was something else that it was getting hooked up on. And hopefully that's something that can be ironed out in the next month, because once you get past the loading screens and the title screen, you have the open world Iron Man game that you always wanted. And man, is it a lot of fun. Once you're actually flying your javelin around. I spent a lot of time playing the Ranger this weekend, and I think he's the closest thing to Iron Man out of the four of them, I would say.
I would say so,
He's kind of the all-around, correct? As far as, like, balance.
He just reminds me, like, a straight-up, like, if you had a mech, it would just be, like, the soldier mech. Like, he's got grenades and rockets and medium armor. He's not the tank. He's not nimble and light.
I gotta say, like, watching some streams, like, this game maybe does a better job of any game I've ever seen of making you feel like a superhero, in the sense that, like, I saw some epic stuff about, like, a guy hovering above enemies and just rocket barraging them over his shoulder cannon, like,
and that's like the best
cool stuff.
The best thing, the ult for the Ranger is straight from, like, Tony Stark. Just
like
1,000 rockets just come shooting out of the back of the suit, and they just hit every enemy down there. You feel so powerful, but just the traversal itself, like, you're just running off a cliff, you jump quick, and then just you hit your boosters, and you just go flying.
Yeah.
And so clicking in the left stick, you can do your Iron Man fly around thing. But then if you click in the right stick, it actually does like a hover thing. So you kind of can just like double jump, hover in the air, and then just sit up there shooting or whatever. Like that's super important for Storm. I didn't play Storm, but it seemed like that was the glass cannon. Were you playing Storm actually, Kaboski?
Yeah, that was my for Javelin to choose from. Yeah, once you hit level 12 during the beta,
The VIP demo.
The VIP demo.
I'm not some peasant. I'm a VIP.
Yeah. You tell that to the comments on the EA Twitter account.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Yeah, once you were level 12, you can unlock another Javelin to play around with, which didn't matter because Sunday they are like, hey, you can only play all 4 of them.
Yeah, yep.
I went with Storm. That one was awesome.
Well, you play a Warlock in Destiny, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
So that kind of makes
Fitting.
sense. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, am I reading it right to say like the Storm is the Warlock or the Magic User? There's like a rogue melee type.
The
quick one?
Interceptor.
Yeah, now I'm
Interceptor.
assuming that's probably low shields as well, or kind of like the other one. Okay.
Yeah,
They're not super
then-
low, actually. Not compared
Okay.
to Storm, because you're really in there like up close, just stabbing
Hacking
people.
away. Yeah. And then you got like the Colossus, which is the tank, I'm assuming, right?
Yep,
Like,
kind of like
yeah.
a Titan. Yep.
and then the all-around Ranger. Okay.
Yeah, so they just had to one-up Destiny with the all-around Ranger class.
the 4th class.
So expect in Destiny 3, the all-around Ranger class to make an appearance. What did you like about Storm, though?
He's the Storm is awesome with like AoE kind of damage. So like for example, the one I forget the strong. I don't want to say stronghold, but you fight like this like spider boss, but throughout the boss fight, it pulls out like these ads that come around, like little like little spiders that come around, just like kind of attack you while the big spider's around. Big boss spider.
Yep.
And the one thing I liked about Storm a lot was he had like a fire ability that had like a radius, like a pretty decent radius, and it did so much damage on him. Sometimes it just cleared out a bunch of the ads throughout the time they were spawning.
Yeah,
It's
fire's clutch in this game. It seems like the the Ranger has eventually you can get a fire grenade as like one of the random
Nice.
drops. So I got like a level 18 fire grenade, and I would throw this thing and just it was a giant radius, and it would just murder everything. So fun.
Yeah, I saw that. That was the thing that kind of threw me off a little was how like certain abilities were actually drops, like I guess, or like an actual loot.
yeah.
I guess.
like
Yeah, so there's-
weapons, the grenade abilities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much
like
whatever.
certain abilities were drops. Yeah, I thought that was a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever javelin you're rocking, that's just like one of the customization slots. Like if you're Storm, I think you had 2, so you could do like a fire and an ice, or like
Yeah.
lightning or whatever. You can mix and match those. And for the Ranger, you could get different types of rockets, like ones that had homing abilities, ones that didn't, and maybe did more damage. The grenades, you could do fire. I'm assuming there's things like ice and shit for the grenades as well. Yeah, a lot of customization in this game, and not just for the weapons and your different abilities and stuff, but also if you wanted to spend time painting your javelin exactly how you want it, it felt like you could spend days customizing the colors, like not only just the colors of each piece of like armor on this thing, but also like what type of material that piece of armor was made out of.
Yeah, I
Holy
was about
hell.
to say, I lived vicariously through streamers this weekend on this. I didn't actually play it, but like I definitely saw immediately. I was like, because the longest time I'm like, okay, all the DLC is free. There's no PvP. There's probably going to be raids or something later, but it's like they've clearly said there's cosmetics. That's where they're making their money. But I'm like, how much can you really stretch this out? And then I saw somebody really tinkering around with it. I'm like, oh, never mind. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But even like the base customization of paints and stuff, I'm like, do I ever need to actually buy a cosmetic when I
Fair.
can make this thing literally look however I want? I just might
Yeah.
not have like a plaid pattern or a zebra stripe or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
fair.
think,
I mean, I was impressed with the base level of options it gave you, for sure. Yeah.
that's for sure. I didn't know about the. I know you could get like the materials or whatever, but I didn't know about the paint part.
Yeah.
So, I see Ladonian like as the
Was he green?
interceptor. Yeah.
No way.
Well,
Shade thrown by Risky.
shame on me for not knowing that.
I feel like everything he does is green. Anyways.
Xbox. Love green because it's Xbox.
Yep.
I don't
Did
even know
Ladonia
why.
up his Patreon sub or something? I feel like we're really giving him the business this episode.
It's got to come around once in a while.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Cha-ching.
Lost my train of thought. One mission I was on, we had a ranger with us, and he had the chrome, it was a metallic shade of paint, and then it was red and gold or yellow, literally. I wish I took a screenshot because it was the closest I think you could have made a javelin look like Iron Man. It was amazing.
It's a matter of time for that, I guess.
When you first started up Anthem, you started doing the missions. What were the normal? Was the normal difficulty almost impossible for some of the missions?
For me, it depended on how many people we had. I tried doing the first couple missions on normal with 2 people, and they were really hard. But as soon as you had 4, and once we got rolling, we had everybody was in a different javelin, which I think makes a huge difference in this game.
Okay, interesting.
So by the end of the weekend, we beat is it a stronghold or a fortress or something? It's
Something
I would call it
like
a
that, yeah.
Destiny strike is kind of what it reminded me of, where you had to fight the spider tank at the end.
Yeah. I think it was a fortress.
I want to say fortress, but I don't remember what it was called. So you had one of those, but by the end of the weekend, we were beating that on hard once we were up at 14 or 15. But that was usually when we each had a different javelin, because they're all super good at doing specific things. The Colossus, how he can do a war cry or a battle cry, so everybody just attacks him.
Oh, aggro, yeah.
Yeah, he pulls aggro.
Yeah, and then you have your sneaky little interceptor guy just in there chopping up ads. You have Storm just raining down fire from above. Then you got Jack of all trades guy just whipping grenades and shooting rockets and stuff. And he also has a thing called a bulwark, which is the Titan shield. So he can put up a bubble. If somebody goes down, you can just fly in.
Oh yeah.
Throw up a bubble quick, heal them, and get out. So I think he actually makes a pretty decent healer, especially if you get a high-level bulwark or one that can take a little more damage. Because there's one thing I did notice is that it would get destroyed pretty quick if enemies were focusing on it. But man, that game's fun. And once we're talking about it now, I just want to go play it. And I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit, I kind of went, I didn't even play it this weekend, obviously, so I'm going in even more blind than most. But, I did have a little bit of radio silence for this game. I was just one of those, I'm I want this game to be good. It may or may not, but I'm just going to go in not knowing anything. And I'm kind of glad I did, because everything I'm seeing and hearing so far, I'm, pleasantly surprised by. I still feel like we don't know about, I feel like there's got to be in-game content like raids, right? If there's no PvP. I
don't think there's gonna be raids. I remember seeing some video, and this is one of those people who do YouTube videos that summarizes what BioWare talked about, and he was saying there wasn't gonna be raids.
That would be a huge miss.
Well, because my thing is what is in-game content then at that point?
I think it's mostly just doing if I'm not mistaken, doing strongholds, fortresses.
Yeah.
But on you unlock three higher difficulties after this. Once you hit the max level, level 30, then you unlock three more difficulties, and basically it's just so you the end game stuff is try to get the very highest difficulty done with all the stuff you can do, because that's where the best gear is coming from. Loot. Yeah.
I feel like that's cool, but I feel like that's only a fraction of what the Destiny formula at that point.
Well, you know what's great, Doc? Is that you only have to play it for a month until Division 2 comes out.
I guess that's true. You're right.
Yeah, that's definitely worrisome. I didn't realize that they didn't have, or haven't said anything at least yet about raids, because they also don't have there's no PvP, so that's a huge chunk of Destiny. People will just play the PvP, the Crucible stuff. So none of that, no raids. And I think they gave you a good sample of what standard missions are going to be like, and what those strongholds or fortresses are going to be like. But if those are the two main things you're doing,
the meat of it, yeah,
that might not be great. So that's kind of scary. Thanks, Kabowski. I was real excited, and then he was like,
"You're welcome."
Oh, no end game content though.
Not sarcastically. You're welcome.
Just
I like to pop your balloons at a birthday party.
Yeah, that's what you just did. All of them.
I mean, you have to look at it from the sense of like, okay, let's just imagine if all Destiny was just missions and strikes, and you replayed the missions on higher difficulties. That I don't want to dilute it in saying it's just that, but
That's what it sounds
when you're
like.
comparing the two, it sounds like that. Yeah.
It sounds much like Diablo, where you do like the rifts, you do like a seasonal stuff, and all it is just bump up the difficulty, and the better gear comes there, and then you do your build.
So
kind of thing.
But then I feel like to be like Diablo, you have to have this embarrassing wealth of different types of weapons and stuff, though. You know.
Then we do a mobile game.
Fair.
Can't wait
We're
for
gonna
Anthem,
announce that.
the mobile
We're
game.
gonna announce that at Anthem Con. Just wait.
Anthem
It's gonna
Immortal.
be great.
Oh God.
Crowd's gonna go wild. You just wait.
But that's what it made it sound like when the guy was explaining what the in-game content was. I was like, this is basically Diablo.
Well, if you can correct us in Discord and let us know if we're wrong about that. I hope we are.
Yeah, hopefully someone's like, well, actually, there's actually going to be raids going on. There's going to be 6-man raids.
And then we'll be like, all right, post some evidence.
Yeah.
And then I'll read that article.
Yeah, we're gonna look at Discord Tuesday. It's gonna be like countless YouTube videos of like, here's our first look at raids in Anthem. It's like, son of a.
Yeah, there's 14 videos dedicated to the raids that you guys said weren't a real thing.
Dang.
Oh.
So.
Damn, Scuba Steve, damn you.
Scuba Steve.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if I get my 60 hours out of it, then my $1 per hour is that's good then.
What javelin do you like, by the way, Risky? I don't think.
I didn't get to play Storm or Colossus. I thought I was really gonna like the Interceptor, but then I realized that this isn't the type of game that I want to be up close and personal, like spamming the Y button. Like it's so much more gratifying to be like the best part of that game is the flying and hovering and shooting from the air. So
the mobility,
being on ground just kind of sucks. Like the Interceptor has what looks like just throwing stars, I guess.
So you're Genji.
Shurikens, I believe is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, okay. So you have those. And a triple jump, so like the movement's cool, but I don't know, something feels real good about just flying around up in the sky as the Ranger, just raining down missile barrages and that kind of stuff. I'll definitely be trying out Colossus and Storm this weekend.
Definitely try out Storm if that's what you're... Because it sounds like you might like Storm a lot more.
Just flying up, just murdering people.
The hover ability, like the cooldown is like... It's so small. Like the overheating process, it takes forever to overheat if you're just hovering.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
You could be up in the air for a long time if you want to.
Yeah, because that's one thing you do have to, as the Ranger, you do have to drop down pretty often. It feels like to stop overheating.
I'm really glad that I was getting a little worried at first. I'm glad that you guys mentioned there's an Interceptor and Ranger, because when you first started talking about Colossus and Storm, I was like, is this just a refitted X-Men game? Like, I didn't get to play it, so maybe I'm missing something here. Like,
Wolverine.
Pretty much.
It's like, it was really weird when you talked about the Javelin, Wolverine, and he had claws. I was like, it's a little on the point, but okay.
No.
Sci-fi, whatever.
It's not just X-Men. There's a guy with just missiles on his back, like Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, definitely in the Marvel world there.
So all Marvel. Okay, cool. Cool.
Nice.
The last thing I'll say is that when we were playing this, I said at one point, I was like, man, Insomniac, as much as I love Spider-Man, like, stop developing Spider-Man 2. I now want you to do Iron Man, the game.
Yeah.
That's what I want now. Oh, it'd be so good. But I guess this is pretty much that. If I just pretend I'm Tony Stark, then we'll be fine.
It does make you wonder, seeing how fun this mobility is, how there hasn't been an Iron Man video game yet.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you think about it, like, what you guys are talking about, like, one of the things that the biggest takeaway was how awesome the mobility was, and you're straight up flying like Iron Man, this thing. I mean, like, that is what that looks like, yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, all the movements,
awesome.
like, it all just looks
yeah,
exactly like Iron Man.
I mean, hell, you have an iron suit, yeah, basically. It's your javelin, yeah.
Diving into the water while you're, like, coming up from the air is awesome.
Yeah, I did that on accident my first time, and then I was like, oh, I'm underwater, like 30 feet underwater. And then you shoot right back up out of the water into the air, and it's just...
He was trying the thrustmaster on his first go-around.
Yeah, right?
Oh, my God. Can I use my thrustmaster?
Life hack.
Oh, man. I need to look it up now.
You gotta.
Trust me, you can. Hey, when it comes to peripherals and video games, you can have enough male-female connections. You can make stuff work.
All right.
Pun intended.
We will. Yeah, I'm not even going to make a joke off that. Do you guys have any more things that you were playing this week that you might have missed?
There's one, but I don't. I didn't put it on here because I played for a few hours. But Halo 5,
What were you playing in Halo 5?
the Warzone playlist.
Halo 5's good. I like Halo 5 a lot.
They did a fantastic job with that game now.
Yeah,
For some reason,
that multiplayer is damn good.
Was it just the campaign that everyone hated in that game then?
Kind of, yeah.
Halo's one of those games to where if you're not a fan of it, it gets hated on big time.
Okay.
Yeah, and for better or for worse, I felt like it was a subpar. I felt like the campaign was fine. It was kind of subpar as far as storytelling goes, but it wasn't bad by any means. But if you go on forums, you'd think it's the worst video game ever created, and it's not the case.
Well, weren't people just pissed because it was all about Locke or whatever and barely about Master Chief or something like that?
Yeah, it definitely, that was a problem of it for sure. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. I need to read those books.
They're good.
There's a ton of them, aren't there?
Yeah, I just got through reading the Forerunner trilogy, the first 3 that kind of depicts everything that happened before all the Halos got fired off, basically, and it's really good. Yeah.
So when you read into the Fall of Reach, right?
Yeah, I've read everything but 4 of the novels, and there's a lot. I want to say there's over 20, or maybe 15 to 20.
God. Yeah, they have a lot of Halo lore going on with the books that they have. I read Fall of the Reach, and I read the first quarter of the Flood, and when I read the Fall of Reach, I kind of had the geek out moment, giddy. I'm like, oh my god, because the majority. Okay, spoiler alert. I don't think anyone cares.
Nope, you're good.
But the friends that John makes in the Spartan Academy are the people that are the
blue team,
squad. Yeah, are the blue team in Halo 5 story.
Well, it's funny you say that, Kaboski, because some of the hate Halo 5 got was everybody being like, I don't want to read dumb books to understand the story. It's well, you didn't have to, but also, I don't know why that's a negative either.
Tell that to your Grimoire cards, nerd.
That's what. Speaking of Grimoire cards,
low blow.
When I was super into Destiny 1, all I wanted was them to have books to talk about everything surrounding that world. So I just kind of wish I was more into Halo. I've never been into really any facet of Halo.
Halo was what got me into StarCraft, and Halo was what got me into sci-fi novels of video games, stuff like that. I can't get enough of that stuff. Yeah,
I always picked fantasy over sci-fi.
Yeah, see, I'm always sci-fi.
Same.
Yeah.
More Elder Scrolls, more Warcraft, all that stuff. But I gotta admit, I've been liking the sci-fi more with Destiny and Halo, that kind of lore. But
yeah, it's good. The Halo books are pretty good. I gotta admit, yeah, I don't know. It's not the deepest read ever, but that's not what I'm there for. It's pretty good fleshed out universe. It's a cool universe to find out more info on for sure.
I definitely recommend Fall of Reach for anyone who is actually ever interested in it, because it kind of builds up the Master Chief.
Yep.
And you kind of find out how he is, and then like I said, if you've played the Halo games, you will know the blue team from Halo 5 right away from when he's in the academy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I definitely recommend the 3 books on the Forerunner saga. It sets up that entire universe back when you find out why the Halos got made, what happened, and all that time and all that stuff. It's pretty
Just
cool.
read all of them.
Just read all of them. What are you doing? Why are you listening to this? Go
Yes.
get.
Well, no, please finish the podcast and then go.
We've already got their download, Risky. It's fine.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, go do what you want. You only had to listen to the first 2 minutes. You're good. All right.
Hey, Risky, since I like Ladonian so much, ask me what I've been playing this week.
Hey, Doc, what have you been playing this week?
Overwatch.
Why?
I'm just kidding. That's a trash game. I would never play that. All right, moving on. Are you kidding me? Seriously?
The punches keep rolling. So unnecessary.
Were y'all dressed in green, too?
Poor guy. I'm going to get a notification tomorrow.
We love you, Ladonian.
Ladonian has left the server. Well, thanks, guys. There goes all our artwork for the rest of forever.
Oh, no. We didn't think this through at all.
You had to pick on the one guy who does something useful around here.
Man.
Jesus. No, that's just a blow to everyone else.
Oh.
I love you all. You're all my favorite. Moving on. Let's get into some news.
Quickest.
All right, Doc. What? Try again.
I want you to actually leave Kabo's voiceover right there. That was pretty good.
Quicket.
Doc, what's in the news this week?
Yeah, this first story, Risky, is right back at you because I feel like you willed this into existence last week because I don't know if you remember, but you made a joke about Knights of the Old Republic 3. I think you actually inadvertently made a joke about it getting canceled, or it was secretly in development and it got canceled. We made a joke about it. Well, thanks, Risky, because of you and only you, this is coming per Jason Schreier, claims that BioWare has tried to make Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 3 happen on several occasions, more than once, but the studio hasn't been given the green light yet.
Oh, well, see, then that wasn't the game that got canceled if the studio hasn't gotten the green light. I didn't do this. Will it ever happen? It sounds like no.
Yeah, and to be fair, Jason Schreier went on to say, hey, games get pitched all the time, all these crazy ideas, and they don't get green light. It's not like they had an axe to grind against Knights of the Old Republic 3, but it just didn't happen. So
Did he actually say crazy ideas and then kind of put in Knights of the Old Republic 3 in the same sentence kind of thing?
No, he said he had a source that said specifically Knights of the Old Republic 3 has been pitched more than once, but it did not get the go-ahead. Yep.
Like,
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be like, that's the most sensible game to make kind of thing.
Well, right? It seems like if you're going for surefire bets to make money.
Half-Life 3, Portal 3, Knights of the Old Republic 3, get your heads out of your asses.
Yeah.
You're sitting on gold mines.
How'd you miss Left 4 Dead 3? Dude?
Left 4 Dead 3.
Oh, man, where is Left 4 Dead 3? What the hell? I've given up on Half-Life 3. That's never happening. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not games as a service enough for EA.
100%
is the only thing I can think of.
That's probably why this last one got canceled.
But then again, like, what is Respawn making? It sounds like that's a single player thing, right? Probably.
Maybe it started as one.
What if you could just shoot laser guns everywhere? How about that, guys? Is that cool? No? Okay.
Nope.
Battle Royale.
Oh my god. I totally play a Star Wars Battle Royale. I don't care what anyone says.
What if 100 Jedis got dropped into an arena on Geonosis? What if?
Please move on.
If?
Quick hits.
Okay. Quick hits. Hey, in shocking news, nobody saw this one coming. Fortnite earned $2.4 billion with a B last year, making it the most annual revenue of any game in history.
Yeah, nothing surprising about this story.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's a lot of money, though. Holy hell. Like wow.
Do you need to focus on just, with that amount of money? Or is everybody getting raises and they're all just going to stay focusing on this one game forever and you're never going to, up your staff or never work on another project, which you can sit pretty for the rest of forever making this much money, making one game. But think about what they could do. I don't know. Do something else as well. You've got the money.
Well, I think it's pretty clear what they're doing. They are taking on Steam to be the online retail store for PC. I think that's clearly where the direction they're going.
True.
So, but yeah, I think you milk that cow until it's done. I mean, if I was a financial advisor, which I'm not, I would say, keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Please.
You're making the money. Why stop now?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Man, that's just so much money. I don't know. That's just hard to imagine. I mean, I think this goes hand in hand with, there was another story that came out of Kotaku the other day about how the video game industry actually outperformed the movie industry. And this is in a decade of superhero movies, all these worldwide blockbuster movies that rake in cash, and over here you've got video games just quietly doing better. It turns out.
Nothing quiet about Fortnite.
No, well,
it
true.
used to be quiet. I feel like video games are not making quiet money anymore. Well, at least some games aren't.
True, yeah. And related to this Fortnite story, just to touch on something else, this is probably good news. Fortnite Save the World PvE, the single player, well, not single player, but the
not Battle Royale part.
The not Battle Royale version,
the Horde mode.
Remember that part?
Yeah, Horde mode will now let you see contents of their loot boxes before you buy. This was coupled with a story about how they were going to start giving the odds of basically rarity of items and stuff that you could win in a loot box.
Nobody cares about this story because nobody's playing that mode.
And that got swept under the rug.
Oy.
All right.
I wonder what
moving on.
the ratio is between who's playing Save the World and the Fortnite Battle Royale part. Like,
oh, God, it's got to be astronomically
something to
imbalanced,
one.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I bought the Fortnite Save the World, like, before the Battle Royale came out. And then once that craze of the Battle Royale hit, the Xbox icon for the game is no longer just Fortnite. It's just Fortnite Battle Royale. Like, they swept that game mode, like, away.
It's like, is that in there? Oh, yeah, you have to dig for it, but it's in there. Like, okay.
Yeah, you can find it in the settings.
Yeah. It's
deep
four
in the settings.
4 menus later, yeah.
Quick hits.
Okay. Quick hits. NetherRealm, the makers of Mortal Kombat, is looking into crossplay for Mortal Kombat 11. It's something they hope to do at some point. That's good news. I hope every game starts, doing this. It sounds like more and more games are considering this. So, would you guys be willing to give this fighting game a closer look if it was crossplay, or is it not in your wheelhouse?
Even if it wasn't, I would still be looking at it. I probably won't get it day one, but I always liked the Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not a fighting game person, so unless it's on a deep discount down the road or something, I probably wouldn't touch it.
Yeah. Moving on, Retro Studios is now developing Metroid Prime 4 after Nintendo announced they were rebooting development. So don't expect that anytime soon.
Rebooting? As in starting from 0%?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. It is noteworthy to say that a lot of people, this was as feel-good a story as you could have about rebooting a game because Retro, which I don't know why they weren't handed development from the beginning, but they were the original studio behind Metroid Prime 1 through 3.
Oh, so this is probably actually really good news, even if you're going to have to
when I
wait
read the story,
a few more years.
Yeah, part of me when I read the story is like, why weren't they given it to begin with? But
a different studio would do it for less money.
I guess, yeah. There
That's
you
why
go. Maybe that's
things
what it was. That's money. That's why things happens. Yeah. So maybe I don't know, 2022 or something. Maybe who knows?
Yeah.
Division 2, which we talked about earlier, is going to support variable refresh rate on Xbox One. Me and Risky looking at you. Good news for us.
I got that sweet monitor.
Yep.
I don't know anything about it, but apparently this is good news for me.
And Chocolate does too, but as soon as he sets up his HDMI switcher, it won't matter. So, way to go, Chocolate.
Doc, is this a good purchase? No, Chocolate, it's not. Okay, I just bought it.
Chocolate's like, all right, it's on the way. Cool, thanks. Okay, cool.
It's so funny because he was like, hey, guys, should I get a Stream Deck? And you were pretty much like, nope, it's kind of just a waste of money for you and what you're doing. And he's like, all right, well, I bought it. So why did you ask for our advice?
I mean, I still think you'll get fun out of it. I mean, it's all perspective, who gets fun out of what they want. But yeah, I was just like, unless you're really doing this, I probably don't waste your money.
Didn't you also post a link of how you can turn a phone or tablet into a Stream Deck for free?
Yeah, totally. You can even take the mini Stream Deck and make folders on it and get just as much use out of it as the one with more buttons.
So send it back if you want.
If you want, okay. So I don't know. That sounds cool. I mean, it sounds like we're gonna get a buttery, smooth, stable frame rate, and that's always a good thing. Yep. So, yeah. Moving on. Per Jez Gordon, we will see Ninja Theory's new project this year. He's out of Windows Insider. He's been pretty spot on with all his predictions over this gen, and of course, Ninja Theory is the studio that Microsoft bought, studio behind Hellblade. And he's pretty confident that their game is going to come out this year. Oh. Did you guys hear that?
No. What are you talking about?
The voices.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. That's cool. I mean, whatever it might be, I don't think we have any inkling of an idea what they would be working on. But
I keep on thinking Team Ninja for some reason. I'm like, oh sweet, Ninja Gaiden.
Oh man, yeah, no joke, right?
Go play the Messenger.
God, how cool would that be if we got another Ninja Gaiden? Like, man.
Yeah, I would freaking love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So so maybe E3 we might get a real big surprise if it's especially coming out this year.
Well, I would just think it would just be announced if that's what you're referring to.
He went on Twitter. I went to the Twitter thread he brought this up in, and he acted like it would be released this year.
Oh boy.
Damn, they only work. Well, I guess they probably were working on this project.
I think that's the insinuation, that they were working on it well before, Yeah,
I was gonna say if it started from the acquisition, I'm like, wow, they must have been really hitting the code pretty well with no bugs.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
does this mean this comes out as a cross or a multi-platform game then? When it actually comes out?
I would say not unless they already had to deal with the publisher.
Okay.
If they had to deal with the publisher, almost certainly.
Well, wouldn't you think
if they didn't,
would?
It depends. I mean, because I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like you look at like Obsidian, they clearly did. They needed the money because unlike Obsidian crowdfunded. What was it? What was that RPG? CRPG
Pillars
they
of
made?
Eternity.
Yeah, they crowdfunded that game. So
Both.
they were clearly, both. They were clearly a studio that needed money from a publisher. Whereas Ninja Theory, I'm sure they did, but they've been making deals all along. But who knows? Maybe Microsoft approached them like a year or 2 years ago, being like, "Hey, we would be interested in this," and then they saw what they were working on, like, okay, well, maybe that sweetened the deal, But I don't know. It's tough to say.
Quick hits.
Quick hits. Chris O'Neill, he is the senior staff level designer, or was the senior staff level designer of God of War, has joined the initiative. Feel like the initiative is just picking really good, developers from Sony Studios into making a studio for Xbox.
Was the last one also from God of War?
They've had several from God of War. Yeah.
I'll take it.
What game has an initiative
They're
launched?
a new studio, aren't they?
They're a brand new studio. They haven't announced
made anything yet?
Yeah, they were the one they made from scratch. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I thought it was like something like We Happy Few or
Yes.
Viva Pinata 3.
So that was just one of their, just a new internal studio that was announced at E3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, wouldn't that be great if they got all these high-level designers from God of War and it was like Viva Pinata 3 was what came out of that studio?
Don't do that,
Jesus.
Doc.
God.
Because now that you said it, it's gonna happen.
Dude, Viva Pinata 1 and 2 was amazing.
Yeah, but is that what you want from the senior level designer of God of War?
Put a beard on it and have a little baby pinata beside it, and it goes boy all the time.
I was gonna
you're
say
good.
this pinata, boy.
Yeah. Too spot on.
So you breed the pinatas and then you yell at them when they're doing
Yes.
everything wrong.
See, now you're seeing the gameplay loop. It only took a second.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. All right. Now this last story, speaking of Epic and their game store on the up and up, Metro Exodus will launch exclusively on the Epic Game Store for PC. They will be skipping Steam. Not entirely. Actually, could you kind of explain this a little bit better too, Risky?
Yeah, so, I mean, what it sounded like was that as of today, so by the time you're hearing this has already been shut off, but if you had pre-ordered it through Steam, you're still going to be able to launch it through Steam and everything. But the availability to actually buy Metro Exodus through Steam, you can no longer do that at this point because it's going to Epic. And I want to say that that Steam actually put out a statement, which I will read here quick. Okay, so later today, sales of Metro Exodus will be discontinued on Steam due to a publisher decision to make the game exclusive to another PC store, that being Epic Games, obviously. The developer and publisher have assured us that all prior sales of the game on Steam will be fulfilled on Steam, and Steam owners will be able to access the game and any future updates for DLC through Steam. We think the decision to remove the game is unfair to Steam customers, especially after a long pre-sale period. We apologize to Steam customers that were expecting it to be available for sale through the February 15th release date, but we were only recently informed of the decision and given limited time to let everyone know. So that last little bit is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But, I mean, like you had mentioned earlier, this is what Epic's doing with their money. They're paying these game devs, or the publishers, I guess, to have their games exclusively on the Epic Store. So...
Yeah, it's pretty clear that they are wanting to become the Steam basically when it comes to PC gaming, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't we do a story last week or the week before about another feel like there was another game that just got announced that was only launching in Epic.
The Division 2.
Oh, there you go. So that's another huge game coming out in the next couple months.
Yep, true.
So
I always love like the PC games, and I understand the reasoning because like you don't need to like open all these launchers just so you can play certain games. But I love the ones that are like, I'm not gonna get this game just because
I have to click a different launcher on my desktop.
Like it's like one of those like I'm like, you're kidding. If you were a diehard Division fan and apparently this would have made you like not get the Division 2, or a Metro fan, it made you not get this game just because it's not on Steam. Like it's just kind of like I don't.
And you are not a diehard fan of either of those things if that's the case.
Yeah.
Get out of my Division club.
But like, as petty and like as small of a thing as it is, it's still kind of annoying. Like I would be annoyed if I had to click into EA Access every time I wanted to play one of my EA games or something, instead of it just being in my library, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the annoyance, but it's definitely not the end of the world like some people will lead you to believe.
It is one of those weird things where it's just like, I don't know, it's not like Steam is a great thing, and I'm glad they exist and have pioneered the area of like all the, having these deep sales, deep discounts, because you are the store to find everything. But at the same time, I don't know why anybody goes to bat for them, because it's like if Steam shut down, you would lose all your shit like immediately. So like, why would you want it all congealed in one place that you're beholden to Gabe Newell, and as long as he wants the servers to run, he'll run them, kind of thing. I don't know. It's like, but then again, diversifying your games across everything doesn't mean anything else other than any one of those could shut down too. It's unfortunately the world we live in the digital age, but because you don't really own anything. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird that people are going to bat for different like online stores. It's just a weird thing where the future we're in right now.
Yeah. Gross.
Gross.
Ew.
Also, first world problems.
Yeah, for 100%. All right, so that's going to do it for our news section. We're going to get into what new games are coming out this week and some PSAs. I'm going to hand it over to Kabo for that.
All right. Do you want me to say the dates that they're coming out, or just read the games that are coming out for this week?
You do whatever you want to do.
Ooh. Sounds good. All right, for the new games that are coming out this week, we got starting on the 29th. Actually, tomorrow, the day this launches.
Today.
It's going to be Kingdom.
Time travel.
Where's Maldo when we need him to convolute this?
We're getting Kingdom Hearts 3. The final, I think it's the final
I think
game?
they said it was, yeah.
Yeah, the final game of the Kingdom Hearts series that has been announced, like 14-something years ago.
It says Kingdom Hearts 3, but this is definitely like the 19th game in the Kingdom Hearts series, so yep.
I don't know. So
can't wait to read those books.
Yeah, surprised I haven't made books. But okay, next one coming up on the 30th for PC only is Subnautica Below Zero. I don't know if that's a DLC expansion.
I didn't
kind of
know.
thing.
I only put this in here because I know Doc is into Subnautica. I don't know if you've seen anything about this though, Doc.
Yeah, I know it's coming to console later, but yeah, it's a but it just looks like a DLC, but a new area, a new biome, I guess you could say.
Cool.
Neat. All right, so neat. So for the 31st of January, this one I was expecting Ace Combat 7 coming for the PC.
I don't know why it released 2 weeks?
Like
2 weeks after?
Yeah,
kind of weird, but
I don't know. But for the Switch, we're going to get a game called Downwell. I have no idea what
It's actually a really good game. I would highly recommend it for your phones, actually. It's a neither of you guys know about this game? No joke?
Is this the one that
It was black and white. You constantly fall down, but you tap to kind of like do a jump. I
knew I had heard of this game, and I didn't know why. I probably should have looked at it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's on your phone's probably dirt cheap. I highly recommend it. It is really good. It's really good little like mobile game. I mean,
would you say skip the Switch version then?
No, I mean it probably will be good on Switch too, but I just bet you're not gonna have to pay the Nintendo tax on the mobile version.
Downwell, 10 out of 10 on Steam, 81 on
it's
Metacritic.
Good.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
good. Real
Sold.
simple game, but it can get pretty complicated, or much more complicated than it looks. Yeah.
I'll have to take a look. I might just get it for the phone. If that's the case. I feel like I'm going to get it cheaper on the phone.
Yeah, it definitely would be cheaper than whatever the new version on the Switch is going to be. Yeah.
Well, to wrap it up for the new games coming out this week, on the 1st of February, we're going to get Wargroove.
Hell yeah.
Whoop, whoop. That's the Chucklefish developed Stardew Valley peeps. They're making a tactical strategy game. I think it actually looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, I can't wait. It looks really good. It's totally Advanced Wars, because that studio that made Advanced Wars back in the day went on to make nothing but what's that other Nintendo game? Marth is like a guy in it. What's it called?
Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem. That's
Marth
basically
is a
that
guy
studio.
in it.
Yeah, sorry. They're good games too, but I never really got
The
as much
Prince?
into those. Yeah, the Prince. Nuts.
I think he's a prince in the
Yeah, so
actual series.
Yeah, that studio basically made Advanced Wars and that, and then Nintendo basically just had funneled them into just making those games instead of Advanced Wars. So that's why we've never seen Advanced Wars again. So, but at least we're getting Wargroove, so that's cool.
That's good. We're also getting some good backwards compatibility games.
Oh hell yeah!
Would you like to know?
Yes.
Well, if you're a console real-time strategy fan, the Command & Conquer games, Command & Conquer 3 Tiberian Wars, Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath, Red Alert 3, and Red Alert 3 Commander's Challenge are now coming to the Xbox One backwards compatibility.
That's a lot of
list.
threes.
It is a lot of threes.
Mhm.
Red Alert, I think, is the
So
only one
that's-
I ever played, though. Have
Really?
you played?
Tiberian Wars was mine.
Yeah.
Wh-
I
what's
love,
the best
the
one
Command
there?
Conquer series. I would say Command. I don't know. I mean, they're Red Alert
heard-
is definitely very different than
Yeah.
Command & Conquer. I will say Red Alert has. I'm pretty sure that's the one with Ric Flair in real-time videos.
Yep,
in
sold.
it. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that might edge it out because of that.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
they're all
There was
They're all
some
good, I would
good
say.
real-time videos in those games back in the day, man. Let me tell you.
I don't know. I may grab them. But then again, it's like I bought Halo Wars 2 a while ago, and I barely touched it since.
That's I don't have a lot of games on my PC, but one of the 10 games on my Steam catalog is, it was the Command and Conquer all of them, and it was $25 for literally every Command and Conquer game. So
Yeah.
I bought that a wicked
Steam is
long time
getting-
ago.
Yeah, Steam is getting pretty popular for doing big bundles like that now. I feel like.
Yeah, a whole
Yeah.
series wrapped up for $20.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Crazy good deals. Yeah. I think they had I didn't put this in the news, but they had a story the other day. It was pretty cool on Kotaku that 25% of the entire Xbox 360 catalog was now backwards compatible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think this says well over 500 games or something like that. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
No time to go back to any of that stuff.
Nope.
No time for that junk. Am I right? Up top.
Ugh.
Not with this other news with Realm Royale available now on Xbox and PS4.
Another battle royale, you
Ooh.
say?
Wait, guys, what's Realm Royale?
So, Doc,
Royale sounds familiar.
Picture this: 100
Okay.
people fly in from the sky,
Okay.
except you don't pull a parachute. You just land like a superhero.
But risky, you would die if you didn't pull a
No,
parachute.
not in Realm Royale, where you can pick from 5 different classes.
Whoa.
I don't actually know the numbers, but that's the one, that's the one thing that seems different about Realm Royale is that it's a class-based battle royale.
And guess what? Even better news.
Yes.
The makers of Paladins are the ones behind Realm Royale.
Oh, man.
Man, Ladonian's just gonna stop playing Fortnite because Realm Royale is a thing now.
I mean, he's got everything he wants. He's got a better Overwatch and the best version of Battle Royale. I mean, what do you know? What else?
no
do you
going
need?
back
I
from
mean,
those two.
Oh, he is now a hardcore fanboy Paladins Realm Royale. Man.
He is now no longer a patron, a member of the community, or a listener of the podcast. So
Yeah, I just got the notification on the
Perfect.
patron side. That was quick.
Sweet.
I don't even know how he's listening to this live. That's weird.
time travel.
Yeah.
All right, we did it. We made it through another episode. Great. So we can now plug the show up
With the thrustmaster.
with It needs to be like a DJ's name, DJ Thrustmaster. That could be a thing, right?
That's my new band name.
He scratches his record and it just goes doing.
For this episode's my band name. That's my new band name, DJ Thrustmaster.
DJ Thrustmaster. Awesome. Head on over to crossatlanticgaming.com to keep up with everything Cross Atlantic Gaming related. You can hit us up on Discord. The link for that is in the description. That's where we all hang out every day, chatting and whatnot. If you'd like to support us with your hard-earned money, you can head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. Our game giveaway is not next episode, but the episode after that. So you still have some time to get in there and get yourself a chance to win a game. We're on Twitter and Instagram at CAG Podcast. And lastly, we have an email address, cagpodcast@gmail.com. You can send in questions for the monthly mailbag there, or we also do have a channel in the Discord where people can just write in their questions whenever. And at this point, that is pretty much open all the time. We were only opening it for 2 weeks at one point, but now if you hopped into Discord right now, that would be there, so you could lay out your questions for us. All right. If you'd like to find me, I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Doc?
Doc H1X1 everywhere.
Did you almost forget that?
No, I was going to say at Overwatch Sucks, but then I didn't. But then I guess I did, so.
And Kaboski, where can we find you?
Find me at Kaboski everywhere.
Boom, nailed it. Kabo, thanks for being on the show, man. Always a great time.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a blast.
Good. I'm glad you had fun. And thank you to everyone out there for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So
you can be my Huckleberry.
Doc, we did it.
God dang it, I didn't take my pills.
So Chocolate wasn't here. Do you guys want a few dad jokes? I loaded some up. I know some people like them, so I'm going to give them to you whether or not you want them or not.
Okay.
All right, so I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. This isn't like the rated R version of dad jokes. This is the only one about drug dealers, I swear.
Boo.
I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day.
Oh.
Okay. Good. 1 for 1. Did you know that the first French fries weren't actually cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece.
Oh my
Sweet
God.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Good. We're doing good so far. And this has to be a good one. Okay. If a child refuses to sleep during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
3 for 3.
no. That was the worst one because it wasn't directly obvious.
I know. I'm like, I had to think for a second. I'm like, what the heck you mean? Oh, arrest.
Chocolate, I hope I did you right.
I'm going to
Phrasing.
take a
I think
shower
you
and
nailed
wash this filth off of me.
Exactly. I'm just
Gross.
close my laptop and never open it again.
Ugh.